Okay, here we're going to look at formatting strings with something called f strings. To start, let's look at how we formatted strings in the past. I'll open a workspace. Okay, remember we can make a string using single quotes or using double quotes. And when I type in here, it gives me the pair of quotes. So here I can hit the go button. And now if I print what X is, it'll say it's hi. And there I was able to add those inner quotes where if I redefine X to just be hi with those single quotes, then actually the string is the hi without those quotes. Okay, so we had some flexibility there about how to format things. And even within our print, we had ability to format how things were printed. So here I could say, I could use a comma to say, how are you? Now what it'll print is, hi, how are you? In contrast, I could say X plus, how are you? And this is the one where it's not gonna add a space, so the comma adds a space for us, and the plus does not add a space for us. And so we can manually add our own space to make it look more like the comma. Okay, so that was some of our ability to format things. That was using print, and then we can modify the actual string by using some of those escape characters. Like if I wanted there to be double quotes in here, I could use those escape characters to add those in. And now the hi has quotes around it. Okay, looking at our reading, we can create these things called f strings. This one is actually really boring because it's not using any of the functionality of the f string, but I'll just show you what that one does. So here, it's just going to print the price is $49, but the lesson's going to build on that idea. Okay, so the key idea here is that we sort of hard-coded or we like manually typed in that 49, but we might want a variable, might want to print a variable right there instead. So here's an example that we'll look at. Again, we want you to copy and paste examples so that you can try them out. So here what's going to happen is inside these curly braces, I'm going to fill in the value of the variable price. So here you can see price is a variable name. We know that because it's on the left-hand side of an equals, and it's given or assigned the value for 59. So here, it says the price is $59. If I change that to 60, it's going to print $60. Okay, so this has a way of like filling in one of those variables. Returning to how we were using print before, we could do a similar thing where we could say print the price is, and then we could say comma, and then we could say price, and then we could say comma, and we can say dollars. So actually we could get that same output. So really, we don't get kind of much new functionality, but it allows us to format it in a different way. So you can see instead of just having the quotes, and again, it doesn't matter if this was single or double quote. So I'll replace them all with double quotes just to show that. Here, I put an F before my quote. And again, this could be a single or a double quote. And it takes the value of that variable price and fills it in there. Okay, the thing this adds is it also allows us to format how it displays. So since this is a number, I can be like, yo. After the decimal point, give me 2 decimals. So I'll modify the example. So I'll say yo 2F. Oops, I have a typo there. Invalid syntax. Okay, I must have duplicated it incorrectly. Yeah, I need that colon there. Okay, so it's really common to have errors like that where we just mess up some of the syntax. So looking at where it was pointing, so here it was pointing at that period, and I can go back and check. Okay, now I'm seeing that it's giving me those 2 decimal points. And if I had something like this, also, oh, look, it rounds it there for me. So it gives me some formatting. So it's not just the floor. It's not just dropping everything after 2 decimal points. It's rounding for me. This next example is saying, oh, it doesn't actually have to be a variable. I could just type 95 there. So here, I'll actually make this a new example. Here, instead of saying price, I'll say, well, $101. And then instead of using a variable price like I did here, I can actually type the real value. We can even use operators in there. So I can do some math in there to be like, 101 times 10 or 101 times 1,000. And so it's able to do that math right inside that spot where it expects a variable. Sorry, it's not that it expects a variable, it expects a value. And so we could provide a value by providing a variable, like in this one, but we can also just provide the value directly. Here's another one where it's doing some calculation. using price and tax. The later examples you don't need to worry about. So later on, we're going to be able to ask questions like, oh, if this thing is true, do this, execute this code, otherwise or else execute that code. And we can embed some of that into these F strings as well. We can also execute functions, but some stuff we're going to see later on. And I think then it won't be as hard to reason about adding it to F strings.